Please welcome this week's special guest, John. So, Sheila, what is John to you?
Well, this is John, and he disrupted a show I was in with an explosive attack of the hiccups.
Stephen, how do you know John?
This is John. We once spent an hour hiding from a piece of rope because we thought it was a snake.
And finally, David, what's your relationship with John?
This is John. I was the only person to attend his neighbourhood watch meeting. So we spent 10 minutes drawing a map of the road, then gave up and watched an episode of Knight Rider.
So there we have it. Lee's team, where to begin?
Shall we start with Sheila?
Yeah.
What was the show?
It was a musical called Grey Gardens, which I did last year at Southwark Playhouse. It's a fringe theatre, so the audience are right on top of you and you can hear everything. And at the beginning, I could hear this person sort of suppressing something, like that. And then there was a really quiet moment, and he had the most terrible attack of hiccup. It was just like as though he was choking almost. So eventually...
Sorry, eventually? You thought he was choking and you did something eventually?
No, I knew he wasn't choking,
How
but
did
he
you
was
know he wasn't
making a
choking?
choky-type noise.
OK, all right.
So I had a glass that was supposed to be whiskey, but was actually water, so I went over to him and I made him drink out the back of the glass, and the audience were applauding like mad.
What was your character?
I was playing this old lady, and it's the story of these two women. They were discovered surrounded by cats and animals.
They're probably locked out.
Stanley.
I'm curious as to how long it was before you stopped the show. I mean...
Well, I let it go on for about 2-3 minutes.
And what were you doing at the time?
I was singing. I was trying to sing.
You were in the middle of a song?
Yes.
What was the song, Sheila?
So I love you, I love you. It's a song that she sings to her daughter. It's a very poignant moment. But you can't do a poignant moment with someone going...
No, I'm kind of surprised. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised that John didn't take it upon himself to leave the theatre.
He was embarrassed, poor darling. He's stuck in this show.
So you thought you'll help him with his embarrassment?
I sort of
by
did.
making him drink upside down with a glass of water?
No, I knew the audience were getting really aggressive with him.
What were they doing?
Well, they were going shush, 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 like that to him.
But they must have known that it's an involuntary action and he's not doing it
But
deliberately.
audiences are like that. If in a lovely moment they were enjoying the show and suddenly this idiot's going...
And he's going... Are you sure it wasn't like the house version of the song? It's a bit more garage.
Is that what you think house music sounds like? and I quote...
I would say, of all the genres of music, although house isn't close, it's the closest, unless you can tell me what that is closer than.
I would say it's a very experimental, avant-garde, East Berlin in the early 30s. I certainly wouldn't call it house music in a desperate attempt to get down with the kids.
I don't think 1930s East German is actually a genre of music.
I'm saying...
You give me a decade and a country.
Yeah, in fact, you've also given a country that didn't exist in the decade you've given.
Well spotted. Well spotted. But you noticed that Lee didn't spot it. Right. Who would you like to quiz next?
We'll go with Stephen, shall we?
Just remind us, Stephen, just refresh our memories.
This is John. We once spent an hour hiding from a piece of rope because we thought it was a snake.
Right. Where were you?
We were in California.
Right. And how do you know this gentleman?
I'm related to him.
In what how?
Well, some of our relatives were, you know... We're cousins.
You're cousins?
Yeah.
OK, so you're in California.
Yeah.
And what, are you camping, are you?
We're camping.
What age were you?
I was 19.
19? Oh.
Who was camping?
We were.
Just the two of you?
Just the two of you. Just the two of us, yeah.
Yellowstone?
No.
Yosemite?
No.
Big Sur?
No.
Doesn't matter what type of snake it was. So who spotted it first?
We're in a tent, and I wake up, and we're in the woods, And it's California.
Oh, you're not a campsite, then? You're just going
Not
wild?
on a campsite, no.
OK.
And I see a snake on the roof of the tent.
So you saw the shadow, the silhouette?
I saw a shadow of a snake. So I say to him, I think there's a snake. He says, I think there is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't moving. But we watched it because we thought maybe it was asleep.
How long did you watch it for?
For about 40 minutes.
Right.
And you were too scared to, like, try and sneak out the front way and run?
Well, we did come up with a plan.
Oh, OK.
Which was one of us was going to hit it and knock it away from the tent.
Yeah.
And then it would fly away and then we'd dash out the tent.
Hit it with your bare hand?
I think it was a pillow, actually.
You took pillows camping?
Glamping.
Don't you? So one of us hit it.
Yeah, with a pillow?
And the snake flew up in the air and then landed right back down on top of the tent.
When it's settled and it
Yeah.
was still again,
Yeah.
you now know it's definitely not a live snake.
No, we think it may have been stunned.
Which one of you hit it?
I'd be lying if I said I remembered. Probably John, who did
Probably
it.
John. Probably John. I mean, well, see, it's not easy. It's not easy to remember blood relatives, is it?
So what happens next?
We decided one of us had to dash out of the tent and then see what the situation was.
And who did that?
And John very bravely said he would do it. So quietly we got out of our sleeping bags and to get him a quick exit, I helped open the flap and he jumped out. And then he turned around and he went, "You won't believe this. It's a rope."
OK.
Mark, you seem to find a potentially life-threatening situation rather amusing.
Where did this... Can I ask, Stephen, where did this rope come from?
It was on the tent. It was just a rope on the tent.
Ropes on tents are really thin. They're not like...
Very
they've
thin
not got
snake.
the girth of a snake.
Maybe
It wasn't a snake like that.
No, it was a piece of rope like that. How could you think that? The most you can figure of is a worm.
Yeah, but also, you've got to remember...
There's a worm! Quick, get my pillow!
It's also early morning, so the sun is just coming up, casting
Snakes
a
are
long
lot thinner
shadow.
in the morning, aren't they? It was early morning, they fatten up during the day. That's a little thin bit of rope. That's nothing like a snake. Unless you'd have said the shadow had somehow made it look
That's what I'm
bigger.
saying, it's early
You didn't
morning.
say that!
It's early morning,
He
the
did
sun
say-
is low. I said that.
He did say that,
Made it
although
look... I don't... I mean,
sometimes Lee doesn't totally listen to everything other people say.
It is true. That is a fair point.
OK, now, what about David?
David. So remind us again, David.
Oh, I can't remember. I was the only person to turn up at John's neighbourhood watch meeting and then gave up and watched an episode of Knight Rider.
How well do you know your neighbour?
Not very well, but a bit. There'd been little... a sort of photocopied note had gone round about this
A
meeting.
photocopied note. It's email these days.
Yeah, but how do you know each other's emails before you start Neighbourhood Watch?
Well, they've started. The party's in it.
No, but this is before this. This is the first meeting,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
the first meeting.
Oh, I do apologise. Sorry, carry on.
Sorry, I must apologise about Rob. Sometimes he doesn't listen.
And anyway, so between me and my wife, we decided that one of us should go. And we thought that,
And she thought it should be you.
And it turned out I thought that too.
And it started off by you were drawing a map.
And then, well,
Map of
yeah,
the
well then,
streets.
Why were you drawing
a map of the street?
just because John wanted to explain the area he thought this neighbourhood watch group should cover.
How many houses away do you live from him?
He's, I think, next door but 4.
Next door but 4. So let's say 5 houses away. Because that's a very weird way to describe. I've never heard anyone say he lives next door but 4. It just somehow doesn't work. Next door but 1 is the limit to how much you can use. Can't just keep adding numbers on.
Go for it. I'm going for it. I'm going next door but 40,000. That's where the Queen lives.
Was Knight Rider on telly or did he have it on a DVD?
He had it on a DVD.
So I'm a massive fan of Knight Rider. I've got all of them. Which one was this?
Which what?
Which episode? You know what? You understand the question.
I don't remember the title of the episode.
No, but what happened?
What happened in the episode? I'd be interested to hear this.
Michael Knight.
Settle down, because this will be very interesting.
He's driving along.
Michael Knight, that's a good start, Michael
Yeah, yeah.
Knight.
As I remember, he's driving along and he in kit,
Right.
and he's driving absolutely on the speed limit, but not above the speed
Even
limit.
in your anecdotes, health and safety is important.
It's important to the plot. He's driving it, and it says on Kit's digital dial 55 miles an hour, which is the speed limit in America. And the police pull him over. It turns out that he is driving over the speed limit, but there's something wrong with Kit. He's all askew.
Hang on, I'm just trying to remember the episode of Knight Rider where the story was about the speedometer being slightly broken.
That's a coincidence, because I'm trying to do the same thing.
All right.
Wow.
We need an answer. So, Lee's team. Is John Sheila's helpless hiccuper, Stephen's cowardly companion, or David's night-riding neighbour? What do you think, Mark?
It seems to me you can drive a bus through the holes in all three of them. I don't know. Stephen's snake. He had me until the pillow.
Yeah. I just don't think David, even though he's a really nice man, I just don't think he'd have the patience.
I'll have to pull you up on that.
Anyone else would just be like, why don't we just go down the pub, mate?
No, not David.
Not David, no.
David's never ended a sentence with mate.
Mate, OK, fine. Fair enough.
Except when playing chess.
Even for you, David, that was quite middle class.
Fair enough, you've won, mate.
And what about Sheila, the fringe theatre with the hiccups?
If I had the hiccups for 2 or 3 minutes, I would leave.
Yeah.
It's very difficult in those sort of theatres to get out.
Yeah.
They were trapped.
They were trapped.
Right,
But that's a fire and
Look,
safety nightmare.
I'm just...
Right, who's it going to be?
I think it's Sheila. What do you think, Mark?
David.
Do you think
Yeah,
it's David?
I mean, possibly.
I think it's Stephen.
Lee Mack, make a decision. Be a captain.
Right, my decision is definite and it's clear, and I'm not going back on it. Anita, you are deciding.
Oh, God. I originally thought Sheila, but I'm going to go with Stephen.
You're going to go with Stephen.
Yeah.
Stephen.
What are you
do
doing,
think?
Mark?
Stephen!
Stephen.
Stephen.
We're going to say Stephen.
You're saying it's Stephen.
I don't know why.
John, would you please reveal your true identity?
Hi, I'm John, and Stephen and I hid from a piece of road.
Yes, John is Stephen's cowardly companion. Thank you very much, John.